Welcome back, students. Let's continue with our topic. Yesterday, we talked about Tolstoy's pamphlet in which he criticized Shakespeare on a number of grounds. Now, today we'll talk about Orwell's opinion about Shakespeare and how he defends him against the charges made by Tolstoy. In his defense, Orwell remains impartial and objective. The first thing which the essayist says in favor of Shakespeare is that no one can say whether a writer is good or bad, because there is no such kind of evidence or argument on the basis of which one can judge the merit of a writer. Then his main argument is that the defense of a poem or a play is the poem or play itself. Shakespeare's works, despite Tolstoy's criticism, are still popular and have not diminished in universal appeal. That's why we can say his popularity is genuine and is not based on the admiration of a few German critics of the 18th century. The whole mankind has not been deluded by any hypnosis or epidemic suggestion into thinking Shakespeare as a good writer, as Tolstoy says. But any work of art may have a mass appeal for a long time or for a short time. Shakespeare's plays have continued to be admired over a very long period. No doubt the Germans praised Shakespeare when they had no rich models of their own drama. But they admired him because of his own merits, because of his writings, because of his plots. Then next, Orwell criticizes the artistic theory given by Tolstoy. He says that it is worthless because it depends on vague terms and starts out with arbitrary assumptions. Thus, Orwell concludes that Tolstoy's observations are evidence of malice. Next, Orwell puts forth the question that why did he make such an attack on Shakespeare? What's the reason behind it? And that also with weak and dishonest arguments. So Orwell points out the arguments made by Tolstoy and which are also weak and dishonest. Tolstoy describes Shakespeare as a bad writer, and this is demonstrably untrue, for a writer is neither good nor bad. He attacked Shakespeare in order to elevate himself as a writer, and his examination of King Lear is a prolonged exercise in misrepresentation. Tolstoy has failed to understand words and phrases of Shakespeare willfully. He has also failed to see Shakespeare's poetry. Moreover, various of Tolstoy's accusations contradict one another. For example, he says Shakespeare is a mere entertainer and not in earnest. But on the other hand, he is constantly putting his own thoughts into the mouths of his characters. This Tolstoy says. It is only an earnest writer who would put his ideas into the mouths of his characters. So how is it possible? Okay, so he himself is contradicting his views. Then the reasons for Tolstoy's dislike of Shakespeare are not many. The most important being his own fear if Shakespeare continued to be popular, then his own works may not be so popular. So this fear makes him dislike Shakespeare. For Tolstoy, English was not a native language, as we all know that he was a Russian writer. Hence, he could not appreciate Shakespeare's verbal music. He also failed to read the pattern of the play, which acquired too many characters and subplots. He judged the play not from a humanistic but religious outlook. So these are the reasons due to which he dislikes Shakespeare, and then he chose King Lear, his play, and he also criticized it. And the character of fool, he puts question marks on the character. So the next we'll talk about Orwell in the next video is about the plot of Shakespeare's play King Lear and about the fool. So students, now we'll discuss about this in our next class, and for today that's all. Thank you.